Stumbling in the Half-Light, Chapter 4, The Green Mountain Boys. The Sargents have been kicking around the New World for a long time. My grandfather, on my father's side, Roy Sargent, traced the Sargent family line back to William Sargent, who was born to a Richard Sargent in England in 1602. However, family historians have discovered several Richard Sargents with sons named William living in England about this time. So there is no certainty as to where the line leads backwards from there. We know that William was trained as a seaman under Captain John Smith in his youth. Later, on one of his trips to New England, he became enamored of the beautiful country around Agawam in the Massachusetts colony. William married Elizabeth Perkins, the daughter of a British colonist, in 1633, and they initially settled in Agawam, but moved to Salisbury Newtown, which is now known as Amesbury, in 1655. Many generations of Sargents lived in Amesbury, Massachusetts, and the local cemetery is well stocked with them. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Timothy Sargent Jr., 1725 to 1754, was a captain in the British Reserves. Trouble had been brewing for some time between Britain and France over their New World colonies, and a dispute over control of the Allegheny River in 1754 led to all-out war. Timothy was mobilized to Nova Scotia. No details of his death are known, only to say that he was drowned in the Bay of Fundy late that same year. By the time of the American Revolutionary War, my line of Sargents was living way back in the Green Mountains of Vermont. Timothy's Jr.'s son, Phineas Sargent, was sort of the original hippie. He believed in making love, not war. Even though local patriot Ethan Allen organized the Green Mountain Boys and captured Fort Ticonderoga from the British, Phineas managed to dodge the revolution and stayed up on the farm way up in the hills and sired some 25 kids. Phineas Lafayette Sargent, the grandson of the original hippie, was sort of more patriotic. When the Civil War broke out, he enlisted with the Green Mountain Boys, who were renamed the 1st Vermont Infantry Regiment and fought on the side of the Union. By the time my grandpa Roy was born, our line of Sargents were living in Corinth, Vermont, and the Sargent family still owns a farmstead there. The hills behind the main farm were covered in spectacular old-growth maples, and my great-grandfather, Nathan Sargent, was a major supplier to the Vermont-made maple syrup company. The little town is stunningly beautiful and is one of the most photographed locales in New England. The movie Beetlejuice was filmed in that town. When I was a little boy, I several times visited my great-granduncle James in Corinth. For centuries, the Sargents were New Englanders and shared many of the qualities of these people. These were sturdy and steady people, patriotic, faithful, and loyal, modest, moderate, and sincere, dutiful, hardworking, and disciplined. I am grateful to trace my lineage to this line of people.